Hello everyone, my name is Doughnut TI Cakes and Pastries, and I'll be taking you on donuts today. A lot of people ask me, how do I get the white ring on my donut? How do I get it that fluffy? Well, it's simple. All you have to do is mix your donut very well and fry at the right temperature. So simple, you know. Yeah, but not that. There are some basic things that you need to learn about donuts, and I'll be taking you through that journey today. Why don't you follow me? Let's learn a little bit more about donuts. Ciao! Alright, so I have 500 grams of flour in here. It has been sieved. Alright, and I'll be pouring 70 grams of sugar in here. 70 grams. $50 grams of butter. You can decide to use unsweetened, unsalted butter. Unsalted butter, you can decide to use that. Okay. Then I'll be adding my yeast. I keep my yeast in the freezer when I'm not in need of it. So when I want to make donuts, I bring it out like 30 minutes before, so as to so that it won't be too cold. So I'll be using half. Now your yeast, the use of your yeast depends on the weather. Right now it's afternoon here and the weather is a bit cold, a little bit, not too cold. So I'll be using 1 tablespoon. On a normal day, if we have a very hot afternoon or a hot weather, if you're in the hot weather, you can use half tablespoon. That's the normal recipe for hot weather. You use half tablespoon. Sorry for the noise underneath. I'll be using level spoon, please. 1 tablespoon leverage. So 1 tablespoon. Alright. Then just mix them a little bit. Let this one mix. Then I have my egg here, 1 egg. Just one egg. Then we'll add this to it. Here I have a pinch of salt, just a little bit of salt added to it. Just allow that to mix. If it's not going down, what you just have to do is push them all into. So all your ingredients are in here except water. So you allow that to mix on its own. Alright. Then I have warm water here. It's not too hot, just warm. Then please, I want you to understand, when filling your cup, a lot of people don't know how to use this cup, and by the time they fill their water in, their dough is too soft or something. So I want you to see here, this cup, there's a line in here. This is where it's going to be. That's where your 1 cup reach. This is 250 mils. That's where your cup should reach. Whatever it is you are filling it with, this is where it shouldn't be to the brim. It shouldn't be to the brim. So your water should be up to this line here. Every other one too has. They all have the line. They all have the line, the line, the line. So you can see that. A lot of people make that mistake. When you have a liquid to add, you don't fill it to the brim. You fill it up to this line. So I want you to understand that. So you can use milk also. You can use flavor. But one thing is, if you are using flavor, it disappears by the time the donut is out. You don't feel the flavor in it by the time the donut is out. You can use your vanilla, whatever, but I assure you, you won't see the flavor. You can add your milk too. Milk, 50 grams of milk, depending on how rich you want it to be. So I have my water here. You can see it's up till, you can see it's up to the level, to the mark. So add gradually. We'll be using 1 cup, 1/3. I hope you can see. Just adding it gradually. I've added 1 cup. Then this is 1 cup, and I'll be adding 1/3 up to the line too. Up to the line gradually. So please don't use an hand mixer. Don't use hand mixer for this. Stand mixer is what I recommend for donuts. So you allow that to mix. Looking at it, you might be thinking, oh, the water is not enough that you want to add. Please don't add any water. Don't add it, because the more it's mixed, the more it gets softened. So you don't want to add. If you are using a standard kitchen head like mine, I started with 1. The speed is just 1. Then gradually I'll be increasing it. If it's up to the mouth, like it's all you just have to do is bring it. It's soft, sticking to my hand. If you can see, so you don't want to over add your water. So you just have to do it. Sorry, the current is a little bit low. The light is a little bit low. Sorry, the current is low on my hand. Sorry, I just had to quickly fix the start. So you want to increase it. So what we are going to be doing now, we are going to mix till it has this shiny look and it's fluffy. Alright, let's look how it is when we are starting now. You can see how it's looking now as we start. This is how it looks now. This is how it looks now. So I will show you when we end how it's going to look. See how rough it looks. So we are going to do. So like 2, 3, 5 minutes you can mix for. So make sure you hold your mixer, actually if you are using a small one like this, please endeavor to hold it. If your table is also not stable like mine, please endeavor to, you don't want to hear the sound of a mixer on the floor. So please endeavor to hold it so it doesn't fall off. And please, if your mixer is not completely a mixer, you know the mixers that have like here that has the what's it called, blender and all that on top, they are not strong enough to withstand this. So I would advise you use that. Use a complete mixer. That's more important. So I wish you were here to smell specific the aroma, you know, without flavor, without anything. You can just, oh my god, wow. Not yet done, but I want you to see how it looks like now. It's different from what we have before, if you can see, but it's not yet done. Now, this dough can also be baked for bread, but the difference is in the mixing. You want to bake to the point, you want to mix to the point that when you stretch, I don't know if you can see this, can you see? It's totally stretched without breaking. This one is breaking. You want to stretch to the point that it doesn't break. You want to mix to the point that it doesn't break. That is gluten, that you are improving the gluten. That is what it means. You are improving the gluten. So you want to. So you want to keep mixing. If your own happens to stick to the bowl, please don't bother. Just leave it and continue to mix. You can see that I'm not adding any flour. You can see that I'm not adding flour or anything to the mix here. It's the normal flour that I added before that is still in there. So please, you can see I'm not adding anything extra. Nothing is in there. So for people that have questions if they can use their hand, can you see? I don't know if you can use your hand in this case. You won't get the same result as what mixer will give you. So the more you mix, the more fluffy it becomes. So this is where your donut comes. If you don't get it right here, sorry, you won't have a good donut. So please ensure you mix properly. It's very important that you mix well. Wow, I don't know if you can see this. Oh my god, this gives me joy, a lot of joy. You can see it's shiny and all that. So let's do the stretching. It breaks. So for me, if it's donut, I'm going to stop here. But for bread, I would advise to continue to mix. If you want to use this for bread, I would advise to continue to mix. You can see how stretchy it's becoming. I don't know if you understand. It's becoming stretchy but it's breaking. This is good for donut, but not so good for bread. So I would advise, if you want to use this dough for bread, please mix well. Else, if your bread cools, start breaking, it won't have that stretchy, that stretchy feel when it cools down. It's just be breaking and crumbs all over the place. So I'll keep mixing. Our dough is done, perfectly done. So out of so now what you need now, you need something, probably a disposable paper or a plate or something to put on you don't want to put your dough directly on it, so your weighing scale, you need that, and you need a clean surface. This place is cleaned, you don't want to have, so all you just need to do is just bring it together like that. So now what you want to weigh depends on you, the amount you want to weigh, how big you want it to be, so that you have a uniform dough. Depends on you. So here I'll be doing 50 grams each, 50 grams of dough. So I'll be weighing 50 grams of dough. So to have a uniform dough all round, so you don't want to have one bigger than the other, all that. So, and please, at this point you need to be fast, because the yeast is already active, and you don't want to be too slow and the dough is rising up on you. So So yep, the last one I have just about 25. We'll be reserving this to do the first test on the oil, so that aside. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and the little one, which you can, but our advice, don't spill it over. You want to use this to test your oil. So now here we are. Let me just move this closer. Now we are here to the parts that will help you to have a very good shape of donut, very nice shape of donuts. All right, so there are two methods that you can use. You can either, I hope you can see this, yeah, so you can form your dough into round ball shape like this. Just form it into a nice round ball shape like this. You just want to form it into a, like if you know how to do egg roll, just form it into a nice, you can see how smooth my own dough is. Just form it in a nice round ball shape like I already have. You can just form it into circle. Yep, I don't know if you can see that. Just form it so nice circle. You have, please ensure that this place is all sealed up. You don't want anywhere opened at all. So you put it, I already have my tray. Great. I buttered it. You can use oil too. Please don't use flour, because by the time you fry, you're going to be having particles of flour in your oil, and you don't want that, because we will be reusing the oil, you know, as many times as possible. You'll be topping, adding, and all that. So you don't want particles of flour in your oil. So what I do is to butter. You can also use oil or the mixture of both oil and anyone that you want. So what you just do is put it down and press. Just want to press it down. If you don't press it down, by the time you put your donuts in the oil, but your dough in the oil, it's going to be turning into ball, like puff puff ball. So you need to flatten it up like that. So the second method also is this one, which most people find difficult to do. All you just have to do is rub it on the table. Let me move this closer so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, so you just need to, all you just need to do is roll it into ball shape. Just roll it into ball shape. So if you have this, all you just need to do, if you have this unclosed bottom, all you just need to do is bring it up, and that's all. That's all. You have your round ball shape, and you again put it. Please give a generous amount of space. You don't want them closing up on each other when you want to pick it up when it rises. So I personally love this method more. It's actually easier for me to roll both at once. And if you find one not doing, I find this much more easier for me to do, and just bring it out together in case, see? Then to the tray. Yeah, so that we can all see what we're doing. All right, so these two, just put it together. I hope this is clear. Let's put it together. Put them on your tray. Do the same. You can see I didn't flour my hand. I didn't put anything, but for some people, you can try to dip your hand in oil just to make it easier to smooth. Or please don't over add flour. I don't, adding too much flour around it will start taking away from the recipe, like giving something else. So please, job, it's not sticking to my hand. You know, when we started mixing this dough from the beginning, it was sticky. But now, look at it. It's not sticking. My hands are clean. It's not sticking. So you want to mix your dough to that point where it no longer sticks to your bowl or to your hand. So just roll. It's like you're tucking it in. You're tucking your dough in. You're tucking your dough in. That is how it looks like. So the light is back. Thank God. So you just want to do this. Just do that. Then for the other one, so whichever one you find helpful, or any way you can form a ball, just make sure you form a ball with your, that is the most important thing. Make sure you form a beautiful ball with your dough. That is the most important thing. Form a ball, a beautiful one with your dough. If you know how to make hair grow, then I think this method should actually be easier for you. So yeah. The dough is actually bouncing, so that's what you have. Please ensure you close the mouth properly. You don't want your dough opening mouth in the oil. Please close it properly. Ensure you close it properly. So I'll be doing this for raw with doughs. So please ensure you have a beautiful, that's the most important thing. However you choose to do it, to roll your dough, please just roll it. Whether you want to use this method or the other one or any other method that you need to roll the dough, just make it into a ball and make sure it's all sealed up. Nothing is coming out, it's all sealed up. However you choose to do it. These are the two methods that I use, that I teach people with. This is the one I am used to. It's faster for me. So, in case the mouth is not sealed, just seal that up. You want to be fast at this point actually. You want to be fast. You don't want to have, you don't want the dough rising up on you. So please ensure you can see I've been rolling on this plate and it's not sticking. So please ensure you do your own and it's not also sticking. So this tray is filled up. I'm picking another tray. Please don't jam pack your tray. Please look at mine. You don't want to jam pack your tray. Please make sure they have enough space to rise. So I'll be doing this for please, all the doughs that I rolled down are all smooth. Please have a beautiful smooth roll too. Please always remember to press them down, all of them. Remember to press them down. Don't forget to press any down. It's important that you press down. And the last one for testing. Yeah. So we have our doughnut. This is what we have here. You can see my doughs are smooth. Please ensure they're also smooth. Don't want them having rough. If they are rough, that's how it's going to come out. So please have a smooth roll for that. Alright, so what I usually do for my donuts is put them in the oven. Just open my oven and put them in. I didn't preheat it, I didn't do nothing. So what I just do is put my donut in here. Nothing. For a cool welder like this, what I usually do is for a cool weather like this, what I usually do is boil some water. Just boil it. By the time it's boiled, open it up and put it under your dough. Just put it under the donuts so that the heat would allow it to rise. Please use a very light pot. You don't want a pot that is thick. You know, you want the heat to be able to fill the space. So you don't want to preheat your oven, because if you preheat it, by the time you're going to be picking your donut up, it might end up drying up your donut. If it does not dry up, by the time you want to pick it, your dough will be sticking to the tray. So what you want to do is just boil some water in here and put it under. Our advice: don't preheat your oven. That is my advice. And if you don't use a cooker like this, if you don't use an oven like this, you use a local one, you can just put your donuts, if you have a cake in the oven, put them on top of the oven. You understand? Just put them on top. Assuming this is your local oven, just put it on top and cover it with a black liner so that the heat will radiate. That's what I do. So for now, I'll just allow this to sit while I address the questions that people have asked me. All right? I'll be addressing the questions that have been asked. So, of course, the commonest, or the most common question that I've been asked is, how do you get that white ring and all that? I'm sure you can see from the mixing that we did, if the first foundation is your mixing, if you don't mix very well, trust me, you won't have that fluffy. In fact, you won't have the tiniest of the ring. So you want to mix to the point that, you know, it's not a crime if you mix to the point that when you stretch your dough, it's elastic. It's not a crime. Your dough is going to be so super fluffy, like you're just going to literally eat 10 just in one sitting. So you want to mix that. That is just a secret to the white ring. And for as many people that ask if they can use and, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, you can use and, but trust me, you won't have the same results as mixer. You can use your hand, but trust me, how long do you want to mix for? How long do you want to mix for? Please invest in a good mixer. Invest in a very, very good one, a strong one at that. I've been using this mixer since 2015. Imagine how long, and that's made thousands. You know, this mixer, you know, because I make little batch at a time, you know, it has made so many. So please invest in a good mixer. It's important. You can start. I started with the hand. Trust me. Before I got the mixer, I started with the hand. So please invest in a good mixer and don't give. In fact, if you are stressing yourself if you are using your hand, it's better for you to relieve yourself of the stress and use the mixer. You know, but you can start. Trust me. I started with the hand. So, but along the line, I discovered that mixer gives a better result than hand. Trust me. Mixing is the foundation of a fluffy donut. To get that big white ring, if you don't mix it right, I would always say it, mixing is the most important part of donuts. It's the most important part. Every other thing is then frying again at the right temperature. Yes. Then someone asked that whenever she fries a donut, the inside don't get done. Yes, because the temperature at which you fry your donut with is too high. You want to fry at a very low and calm temperature. You don't fry in a boiling oil. I've said this over and over again. The last class I had early last year, that was the last time I had a class. So I made this point. I'm always emphasizing on this point. You don't fry in a boiling oil. I saw a student frying in a boiling oil. Please don't fry in a boiling oil. You know, boiling. I hope you understand what I mean by boiling oil. Please, it will give you. It will kill the ring. It will kill the yeast. You want to just gradually, because by the time you put the dough in your oil, it still rises a little bit. Because by the time it rises above the oil. Do you understand me? It's just like, I don't know how to say it. You have, this is your dough. Then you put your dough in the oil. It swells up. Now, this bottom part is in the oil, but this place is not in the oil. So the place that the oil does not touch is what gives you the white ring. You could notice that there is always brown here, and when you turn it again, there's brown somewhere here, and there's a big gap. Yes, It's because you fried at a very, and even if your temperature is very high, if your mixing is right, you'll still have that range. But trust me, the inside will not be done. So you want to fry at a very calm temperature, about 120, 130. In fact, I don't reach 130 sometimes degrees Celsius. I don't reach that sometimes. I just fry at a very gentle oil. Just leave it. And if you are frying a very big batch like we're doing today, if you're frying a big batch like we're doing today, please, when one batch is off the oil, I'll advise switch off the gas or just take the oil off the light. Allow it to cool down and bring it back gently back to that temperature. Because if you remove the first batch and you put the next batch in while the oil is still hot and still on the fire, it will get done almost. It's going to get brown. The dough will get brown almost immediately. It won't get done inside. You understand? And you won't have as much ring as you would have in the first batch. It's going to be, if you listen to my donuts, there's always kind of uniformity in the ring because I don't rush. Donut is patience. You don't want to rush when making your donuts. It is patience. Donut is absolutely patient. You really need to be patient when making donuts, especially when frying it. You don't want to spoil the work of the mixing. You don't want to spoil the work you've labored for mixing. You just come on frying. You've mixed for how many minutes? Maybe 10 to 20 minutes. You now get to mix to fry. Just spoil that mixing. No. Frying will definitely spoil the good labor you've done. If the oil is too hot, so you want to fry in a gentle oil and you don't want to serve your customer a raw dough inside, having a raw dough at the middle of the donut. So please ensure you fry at a very calm temperature. You don't want it's running, you don't want the boiling oil. Please take your time. If you have to deliver by 12, please, if you have to start by 8 o'clock, please do. I don't like to rush my donut. I love it being perfect. So I don't want my dough coming out and it's looking all sharpy, not enough big ring. Please, so don't rush it. Don't rush it. Please don't rush it. And then again, another question I got is, can I leave my dough to rise overnight? No! Gone are the days when this is instant yeast that we use now. We use instant yeast. So please don't leave your dough to rise overnight. Don't leave your dough, because by the time you leave it to rise overnight, in fact, allow it to overrise with just an hour or 2 hours. If you're going to leave your dough to rise, I would advise 30, 45, 1 hour, depending on the weather. If you have a cool weather, it's going to take a very long time to rise. That's why I devised the method of boiling water under the oven. That's why I devised that method, and that actually worked for me. Even in a very like when there's a downpour of rain, it has really helped me. So don't leave your dough to rise overnight. You end up having unsweetened puff. One thing I want you to understand is donuts. The yeast in dough. In fact, whatever it has to do with yeast, yeast uses sugar to rise. So for this dough, I only use 70 grams of sugar. Now, the way it's rising now, the dough is rising now. It is using the sugar that is in that dough to rise. If you happen to leave your dough overnight, the yeast will finish up all the sugar to use it to rise, and it will remain there. By the time you touch it, it's going to flatten down. So that's why it's important that you don't leave it to overrise. You still want to leave a little bit of sugar in it. So leave it about 45 minutes, 1 hour, depending on the weather. If the weather is very hot, please check it. Keep checking. 30 minutes. In fact, check. Sometimes the weather could be crazy hot. Like in the next 10 minutes, it has risen. And if you are if you are increasing your yeast, please, in a hot weather, check your donuts. You don't want to leave it and go and do something else and it increase the yeast in a hot weather. My brother, my sister, to eat your donuts raw. So please, be cautious of all these things. When you increase your yeast, be cautious of it, especially in the hot weather. Be cautious of it. In fact, in whatever weather, always check the dough now and then to check. Okay, oh, as the dough reason, keep checking. You know, it's become like it's almost double, but not totally double. It swells up. By the time you touch it, it's bouncy and you know it's swelled up, and you know it's not not double like bread. You know, bread sometimes double or almost, you know, but donut is not double because it's still rice in the oil. You know, so please, you don't want to leave your dough overnight. So the salt in the as I was saying, the salt in the dough, in the mix, regulates how the yeast uses the sugar to rise, just to help it maintain. Okay, don't overrise. Just help it to control the rising time. You know, just control it. You can also sometimes I forget to use salt, but it doesn't. But actually, that is the work of salt. Sometimes I forget to use salt. I won't lie, I forget to use salt sometimes, but it has no effect. The function of it is actually to caution the sugar and also caution the yeast from just using the sugar excessively. So please, don't leave your dough to rise overnight. You only need a little bit of time. And please, don't leave your dough and say, please, I want to go and buy something in the market and come back. I've had that. Somebody said, she just put it down and went out. It is delicate though. By the time you come back, what do you have? And again, if you're going to go out like that, I really don't suggest this, but I actually do. And it's not for a long time. This suggestion, because I know some people now, you're not going to take the suggestion. I'm using it every now and then. You only need it for probably to buy time for like 20-30 minutes. Not even up to that. So please, don't be using this method. The method is, if you are fixed up, you have a lot of things you want to do, simply take your tray. You have a fridge that is working, that is cool, not freezer. Fridge. So I need to pull the warning. It's just to buy time. It's not the one that you put in the fridge that you go to market and say I do not say. Just to buy time for a little while, 10-20 minutes, max 30 minutes. Put it in the fridge so that it won't overrise. You know, just put it in the fridge. It will still rise up, but it will be reduced. So put it in the fridge and do whatever it is you have to do, then bring it out back. It's going to take time for you to normalize back to the temperature and continue to rise. So you can just buy time. I do not say you should leave it overnight inside the fridge. Don't leave it overnight in the fridge. I said my own. So please, and I usually serve my donuts fresh. I don't do next day. A lot of customers that said, it still tastes better and it's so soft the next day. Me, personally for me, I love fresh donuts. I love it fresh. Like, let it be fresh. Just make it now and let me eat. I don't like preserving for the next day or serving next day donuts. I don't do that. So please, take all the... Yeah, so I think I've addressed that the dough thing when I was mixing. You can use your dough for bread. Just ensure that it is well mixed for bread. Ensure it gets to that point that when you stretch, it's all transparent. It doesn't break, doesn't, get broken. And that is a very long time. You can actually get a bread mixer for that if you want to do bread. But if you're using your normal mixer, please ensure you mix it very well. Bread mixer will actually do it more. And if you're using bread, I would advise you use a bread flour. There is bread flour and there is pastry flour. We use the all-purpose flour here. There's bread flour. That one has enough gluten in it that will help it to develop that feel very well. So if you're using all-purpose flour, please mix very, 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 very well so you have that straight. That is the most important thing for bread, having that straight. You can also have it for donuts too. Perfect. You can also have it for donuts too. So whichever one. Yes, don't use your hand mixer. Please, look at my city, I spoiled it though. Don't use your hand mixer. Use stand mixer that is strong, and not the stand mixer that has blender. You know, there's some stand mixer that has blender, that has all these accessories that will join to it, mint mixer and all that, you know, like Kenwood. I think Kenwood has all those gadgets. Those ones are not strong enough. Because try as much as possible to use the one that is just mixer, that has nothing attached, that doesn't have any compartment attached. Those ones are stronger than the ones with the compartment. So please use a stand mixer for that. All right. Yes, you can reuse your oil. You can reuse your oil, especially if you're not using flour to flour your tray. You don't have particles. It always comes out clear. The oil comes out clear. You can reuse your oil. The oil comes out clear. By the time you're done, you won't even know that you used it to fry anything. Once it's cool, pour it back into your oil. Leave it till the next time. You know, just you can reuse your oil. There's nothing wrong with using the oil. I don't see any crime in doing that. So far, the oil is clean and there's no dirt or particle in it. The oil always comes out clean, so there's no, yeah. I think that's basically all the questions that I have. So in case you have any other questions, so please let me know. Let me know if you have any other question. So let's go and check our dough. All right. Okay, let's look at our dough. So here we have it. Wow, can you see that? Beautiful. Yeah, I still have my pot of hot water in here. I later kept that in, so at this point you can start preheating our oil, you know. So it's all bouncy, it's soft. You're looking at it, it's all soft and bouncy, you know. You can see it's bringing back to its original form. It's bringing back. Actually all nice, you know, just a little bit more time and it will be ready. All right, welcome back. While our dough is rising, that was just rising a little bit. I'll give it a time. So the pots that you will use will help you select the burner. Now look at how big this pot is. I don't know if you can see, it's actually a big one. It will be so somehow to put it on the smallest gas mark here. I don't know if you can see the gas mark here, this right here. It will be so not nice to put it here because the heat will be too small. So you want to use the face that actually fits into the gas. By the time you lit it, you want a face that will actually cover the whole pot, but at still a reduced temperature, not too much. I'll be using from 70, 80, 90, 100. From that temperature, it is nice to, it's okay to use it up to that point. Sometimes, you know, 120 could be too hot. So please, within that range, you just want to be patient with it. You don't want it to be too hot. So this pot now is big. This is a big face. I'll be using a big face for it. You can use a camp gas for it, but please let your heat not be too much for it. So you want to use a face that would actually fit the pot. If you're using a smaller pot, please endeavor to use a face that will fit into it. Please kindly use. And again, the amount of oil that you put in your pot also determines the pot size. Please put sufficient oil in it. Sufficient, like very sufficient. If I'm to measure this, it will be up to 1 liter or more. It shouldn't be too much, so you don't want it to be too much. So you don't want to put your dough and it's sinking. You don't want your dough, the bottom of your dough to be touching the pot, else you have a brown burnt donut on the under if you haven't burnt donut. So you just want to have enough oil. Depending on the pot size, because this is a big pot, so it's to take so much oil. So you can always reuse that. I've said you can always reuse it. So another thing I've done is one thing I use a lot while making donuts is my serviette. I use it a whole lot. So I've on the wire rack, I've placed my serviettes on them. So That's what I did. I'll just lid up my gas and put my pots on it, and I'll get my thermometer. I have a thermometer here, just on it. I don't know if you can see that. Just switch it on. Just switch it on and put it here. So we're going to be reading. We are going to be reading. We are going to be reading the temperature to about night. So yeah. So I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So continue to read that till you get to our desired temperature. For as many that don't have this, one thing I do again is test with a small dough. The dough that is left from our mix, I put it in to check if the oil is hot enough. That's the essence of that dough. To check if the oil is hot enough. You don't want to start with a big dough in my soak oil. So you want the temperature to be enough. So if the oil is not hot enough, it's going to sink. Your dough will sink, and your dough will also soak oil. You want to have the right temperature, as much as having it done too. The temperature continues to read till we get to what we want. Before now, what I do is to test with my hand. A lot of people don't do that though. It's actually not professional, so don't do that. So what I do is just to test to get the temperature reading. So we have 70. I would like it to get to 80, 85 there about before I put my dough. And we can also, while that is doing, let's try to check with the small dough. Now again, I want you to take note of something, how I'm going to be picking up my dough. I'm not picking it from under like this. I'm picking it gently. Just lift it up. Now, what I said the other time, if you preheated your oven, this surface will not be fresh. Like, it's going to be dry. And by the time you pick it up, it's going to be sticking to the tray. It's going to be, sticking, doing like it's baking, So you just want to pick it up gently. You can see it is all sealed. I did my own, is all sealed. Please, when you're doing your own, make sure it is sealed. And we are going to put it in the oil to see. The oil is not yet hot enough. By the time you put your dough in the oil, you're going to be having a little bubble around it. Round the dough. You're going to be having little bubbles around it. So let's just wait a little bit. So it's not hot enough. This dough, on a normal day, you have to have bubbles round the dough. You also have bubbles around the dough. So bubble, like you would see what I mean by bubbles around the dough. I'm going to leave it to reach 100 before I drop another inside, since I dropped this and I'm not satisfied with what I have, you know. So I'll just, please, if you're using a smaller pot and you put it on a big surface, please reduce the heat. Reduce it. You don't want it to be too much for it. So it's important to use the appropriate pot for the gas burner. Okay, now we have 100 here. So I'll just put. Wow, see how big they are now. See how big they are. So I'll just take. Can you see? I'm just picking gently. Put in the oil. I don't know if you can see, there are bubbles just coming out the sides. Bubbles coming out. Can you see that? Bubbles coming out. Please don't overcrowd your can you still take one? You should still take one. Actually. Because it's still going to rise, so let us just leave it like this. If the small wasn't there, I will have so please let us not overcrowd the oil. Please don't do what I'm doing. I'm used to all this. So please let us not overcrowd the oil. Let's give it time. So let's allow that to rise gently. You can see, just gentle. The oil is not boiling. It's gentle. The oil is not boiling. You can see. Can you see the bubbles coming? So just allow it to gently do. And again, another thing I do to test if it's done, I use a fork to scratch the bottom. It is still soft. It is still soft on the inside. On the bottom, on the, is it bottom? Hey, English. It's still soft underneath here, so it's not yet done. Just give it time. Let's give it time to keep checking if it's brown and if it's done. And if you notice again, it is rising gradually, you know. So assuming we've added another dough in the oil, there won't be, you can see the spaces are closing up. The spaces are closing up, so you don't want to overcrowd the oil to give it enough space to swell, to rise, you know. Yeah. So you can see they are rising up gradually, and through this it's getting done. For the person that asked why the middle is not getting done, you can see, I'm sure by this you can see what you've done wrong. The oil is not boiling. The oil is not boiling. Yeah, so let's just keep watching. You can see this is so beautiful to behold. It's so beautiful to behold. So let's just leave that. So let's check again. Yeah, it's hard now. Not hard rock, but hard now to feel. So it's just left for it to brown. Let's look at the temperature now. So I've reached 120, 130. So you can see the temperature that will put the dough in. Did you notice that? The temperature that will put the dough in. So let's look at the temperature now. As I can see. So please, you don't put it at 120. Let's start from, better you start from 90 or 100, then allow it to increase till then. So we allow it. Can you see it's getting bigger and bigger? It's getting bigger, it's getting browner, it's getting beautiful. So happy. Seeing donuts come out so well makes me happy. Trust me. You're just going to love it by the time it comes out. Just watch gradually. Can see it's patience. So much patience. So there's no hard and fast rule to having a beautiful donut. This is what has worked for me for over 2 years now. Yes. So it's still working for people that I've taught. And yeah. Can see that it's looking all beautiful. Like, oh my god, it's looking all beautiful. Can see it's good. This one is already brown. Yeah, they're all getting brown. So the color you want depends on you. Can see. Now, can you remember what I told you when I was answering the questions? Wherever the oil does not touch won't get brown. So this is where the oil have touched. Just did a little bit more. So, wow, can you see that? Can you see that? Our ring appears. Even for the smallest one, the ring will surely appear. Come on. Can you see? Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? Can you see that? So, can you see that? So beautiful, right? So beautiful. This is so beautiful. So beautiful to behold. Perfect color. Perfect ring. See how big the rings are. Oh my god, this is, oh my god. I can't wait to delve in, trust me. I can't wait to delve in. This is just so beautiful. I wish you can just smell what is happening here. Like, just have a big, the smell is so. Now if you look at the small one, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. It has more oil here than the others, because at the temperature that we dropped this small one in was not hot enough, so it has more oil underneath here than the others. So please drop the dough in at 90 or 100 degrees. In fact, probably 900 degrees, and just leave it gently to but can you see this? Can you see that? Can you see that? See the beautiful ring? Can you see the beautiful ring? Can you see the beautiful ring? Oh my god, this is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful sight to behold. So I'll just be removing that. Can you see? Can you see? In case you can see, can you see it? So I'll be putting it on her rack. If you want it to get brown more, so it's your choice. But I'm perfect with this color. You don't even want it to be more than this, so this is it. Looks like bread, right? So please don't leave it any seconds in once it's brown enough, else you want to get it burnt. So and our little dough. Yeah. So now to put the others in, now this is where what I'm saying. I'll advise you put off the gas and allow the temperature to drop to 100. It's going to rise. It's going to rise, then drop back. So I'll say allow it to drop back to 100. Whatever temperature it is, just put it in and allow it to come back to 100. I'll probably even allow it to drop to sorry, allow it to drop to 90, then switch on the gas. Then can see that's reached 151. See, that's how hot the oil is, but it didn't boil. So that's the science, that's the technique behind how I do mine. So it's on the fix now. It's dropping. So just allow the temperature to drop back to 120, 110. Then you can pick it up from there. But you don't want it to be that high hot. You don't want to just leave it to cool down before you add another. So while it is while it's dropping, what I usually do, because the oil is still hot, I add my dough in it. Because the oil is still hot, you can still do a whole lot. I add my dough. You can see there it's still hot. So it's so fluffy. If you are in a hurry, just ensure that it cools, please. You don't want to over add your dough. So then we'll switch on the gas like that. We have 3 left here, so turn the gas. Don't forget the hot water inside your oven. So then you leave it just like the other. Allow it to pick up back. So you just allow it to fry and just leave it. Yeah, you're gonna be having a perfect donut. So while that one is while this is doing, you get your box and just lay it with your serviettes. You need to see how soft this donut is, as in you need to feel it. Just feel it, like that's all you need to do. You can see how beautiful they all look. So beautiful, right? So just to create space for these ones that are coming in, you don't want to So let's even open up and see what's inside this. So this is all, wow. See, it's all done. It's all done. There's no undone inside. So I hope I'm answering all your questions now, all what you have in mind. You can see this as oil. This is oily actually, compared to the other one compared to the other ones. Oh, see, my hands are not oily. While touching it, my hands are already oily. So you want to be careful the temperature. So just gradually, it's getting brown too. Gradually. So you can just turn this over. This would actually come out faster than the first one because the oil is already hot and all that. So that's how you fry. If you have a large batch, don't rush. Just fry it gradually. We are making it. So you can see you also have a large ring for this too. So please be patient when doing your donuts. Patience. All right. So this is so beautiful, trust me. You can see when I did my own, the bottom, this is the bottom now, they are all properly sealed. So having a good donut, every stage is important for making donuts. The mixing stage is the most important, the rolling stage too, because if you don't roll very well, your bottom won't be closed like this. It's going to be opened, like opened. It's just going to open yash. It's just going to have an open yash donut. So please ensure that your dough is properly sealed and don't overcrowd your oil, please. Don't overcrowd your oil. So you can see you have a beautiful dough. You can just try to turn them over and see. Just allow them. This is so beautiful. So beautiful. Look at this. So beautiful. Get them out of the oil. So I'm going to do the same thing for the remaining 3 too. So I'm going to switch off the gas now. Alright, so here is our finished doughnut. You can see how beautiful it looks like, so perfect and all that. So here, for the filling, piping bag, 2 piping, depending on how many fillings you want. I'll be using one for jamon, for Nutella, and I use this brand of Nutella. This is the brand I use. There are so many brands out there that are way less expensive than Nutella itself, but it is the same, all the same. So this, yeah, you need your piping bag. Then for sugar, you need your sugar code for customers that ask. So what you just have to do is flip it through. That's all you have to do. Put them back. The box I'm using is a size cupcake box of 12. This is what I mostly use cupcake boxes. So, and if you want to make your own box, you can make your own box. So just be sugar coating some and leaving some, so like that. So. Alright, so we'll be doing that for some. Please ensure your piping bags are clean. Please ensure they are all clean. And your jam, I have just a little bit of jam here. You can decide to use any tip that you want for your filling. I use tip 10 sometimes. Any tip, so far it is not tip 2 or something big enough to allow it to release out. So. Now for people that are just opening their jam, this is a new jam. What you just have to do is whip it. This is what I do for newly opened jam. Because if you don't do it like, you'll be having big ones. So you just have to fill it out. Please, I actually turn it over because you don't want the jam dripping while you are filling. That's how I do mine. I turn the mat over like this, so that's enough. Okay. Then all I just do is depending on how much you want, how much of jam you want in it. So please ensure you have a beautiful shootout. Don't make it messy. You can see mine is neatly done. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then just to 5. Oh no. Please allow your donut to cool before you pipe. Because if it's not cool, by the time you are putting inside, by the time you are trying to put this by the time you are trying to put your nozzle inside, it's going to be compressing down. It's going to press down. So allow it to cool before you start piping it, at least to some extent. Allow it to cool. 3, 4, 5. I usually love to serve them like this, so I won't have to be holding and piping. I usually find it neater this way to fill my donuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think that's fine for. So it just return what is left. Done. That's it. Then for this one, if you are just opening this one also, it usually has oil inside. I hope you can see. It usually has oil on top. I've opened this one already, so it's better for you to mix it very well, because if you don't mix it and you use that one, it's going, by the time you get to the under part, it's going to be too thick. So it's better for you to just make sure from the beginning, stir it up to the bottom. Ensure that everything is all mixed together with the oil that is on top. So don't be lazy to do that. Then you just pour, same thing, just turn it over. Just find number of scoop and you're fine. So this is nozzle test that I'm using. So you can use any nozzle that you want, just anyone. Pipe inside. You can see I'm not making a mess. And please, when you're cooking, be careful. You can see I'm not just banging it. Be careful with it. So soft right now, so you need to be careful. Please don't make a mess. Allow it to be neat and nice when you're doing your own. So please do it nicely and neatly. So there you have it. You return what is left in it. I usually like to use coupler with my piping bag, because without the coupler, it's going to, the nozzle coupler, I usually love to use this with it, because without it, by the time I'm trying to put this nozzle inside, it's going to not have that strength to enter. So I'll have to be pressing it, and you don't have to shrink. So I love to use this. It's actually quite easier for me. So whatever works for you, please do it. But this is what works for me. I'm teaching you what works for me. So this is what works for me. So that's that about donut. So please don't make it your own. I'd like to see your beautiful donuts when you're done. I love to see your beautiful works when you're done. So please send me your work. You can see how beautiful this looks. Don't you want to hit it? Don't you want to hit it? Yeah, you want to hit it. You want to hit it. All right, thank you so much for this class. I hope you've learned a lot. I hope you've really understood all your questions and answered. If you have any more questions, please send them. I'll be glad to answer all your questions. So please, practice makes perfect. If you didn't get it once, try again, you will still get it. So please, presentation also matters. Please, let's be neatly arranged. Please. This is what people will hit, so please let us neatly arrange it very well. Thank you so much. Peace out.